Welcome to the Holy Yogi, where we help you find the guru inside of you. Hello, beautiful. Hello, handsome. How you doing today? And if no one has told you today yet that they love you, let's give us some cyber hugs. Let me be the first to tell you, I love you. Because what? Love is the greatest medicine of them all. And love makes the world go round and round and round. So let's get around this whole series that we're doing right now in regards to love is a many splendid thing. How to find your soulmate in 2019. And we're at secret number 6. The party is almost over. We got 7 secrets that we're divulging. We've been doing this for the last 6 days and having a ball like Arsenio Hall. And I know you guys have been doing really well. Yvette Pearl has, been asking a lot of questions, have been implementing a lot of things. So we're going to see what her results are going to be in this year of 2019. And we're going to dive right now into 2019 secret number 6. And it is what? E-G-O. Say it again. E-G-O. Ego. Yes, ego. Ego. And what does that stand for? Easing God out of the situation. And you really want to be very careful about our ego. It plays a major role, and truly not finding your soulmate or really missing out on your soulmate. Yeah, some of you have actually already met your soulmate and you blew it. The good thing about it is, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. The good thing about it is that guess what? The universe has provided many soulmates for you. There is not just one person that's just for you, etc. It's what 8 billion people in the world? So, there's enough to go around. And there are a lot of fish in the sea, contrary to what we've been taught. And there's someone else out there that's just right for you. And that's the beauty of it, because most people have been taught and conditioned to believe that there's only one person, and if you miss the mark, you miss in this lifetime, it is over. Nah, there's quite a few people that are vibing with you and that are ready to, take on this wonderful journey with you. So you've got a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, and so many other chances to get it right, ladies and gentlemen. So the beautiful thing about, the whole ego thing, and let me explain to you what that looks like. An ego is, in a nutshell, who we think we are, who defines us. Like, for instance, the ego part of me is that I am an African American, Native American, I got a lot of ancestry in me, a woman, female. I am the owner of all these aliases, the Pajama Mama, the Holy Yogi, Vegan Raw Fitness. I am a mother to 2 children who are River Nile and Sirius 7. I am a business owner, etc., etc. So these are all identifications of who I am. But that's not really me. That's not the true essence and core of me. And that's what you want to be careful about, that list that we created. Like we always say, number 1, we want him to be spiritual. Number 1, we want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. We want him to be financially secure. We want him to be, physically fit and in shape. And we want him to be, an entrepreneur. We want him to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, etc. Yeah, that's all the facade. That's all of what he or she has become to be, but that's not really their core essence. And sometimes when we get what's on that list, we misinterpret it that that's the one, that's him. Or sometimes it's not even on our list, and it is him, and once again, we miss the mark. So let me break that down for you on how that looks, and I'll give myself an example, and I'll share some of the examples with you. So, for example, there was, for example, Devon Franklin. I'm going to go back to him. Get his book, The Weight. get his book that's about to come out next month, The Truth About Men, because like I said, he's walking the walk and living the talk, and more importantly, he has found his soulmate, etc. And now he's really honing in to making sure not only does he keep his soulmate relationship, prosperous and fortifying for himself, but also what he's doing is sharing the wonderful blessings that he's received. Because once you've been blessed, you got to bless other people, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever think that, the game is over and your responsibility is over. For God to continue to bless you, you got to make sure you're blessing other people. So we make sure that love, like I said, keeps on going round and round and is being replenished on a consistent daily basis. So now he's going out to school and educating other people on how they can have the same type of dynamic, beautiful relationship for their lives, okay? So in a nutshell, one of the key things was that Devon had, I'll talk about him first, I'll talk about me second. He, in a nutshell, he had a list, one of the things on the list was that he was not going to be dating an actress because of his past experience with actresses, but also because he wanted to work in Hollywood with the utmost integrity. And he didn't want to get the reputation as being a Hollywood ladies' man, that if you quote unquote have a relationship or sleep with the executive producer of the company, you'll get a role in the movie and you'll become a star and a celebrity, etc. Like, unfortunately, a lot of Hollywood folks have done and taken advantage of a lot of Hollywood people. So he didn't want to get that type of reputation because, quite frankly, it's unethical and, more importantly, it's unprofessional. And so he wanted to make sure that he stayed away the fray. But also his other opinion was that actresses were crazy. They had really peculiar, personalities, because unfortunately a lot of people that have a really low self-esteem, believe it or not, a lot of stars want to become stars because in the very beginning they're not stars in their own lives. Yeah, believe it or not. So they got a lot of insecurity complexes going on and mental challenges. So he knew that was not the type of woman for him. Now, once again, his ego, thinking like a man, putting a label on actresses not being part of his life, okay? So he would have really missed his blessing if he had done that, because his wife that turned out to be, and that's why, keep in mind, if you keep God at the helm, let him be your love coach. That when that opportunity comes about, and when you give it over to God, because he was really contemplating and saying, no, God, no, not an actress, God, this can't be, type of thing. And he was struggling with it tremendously, because he had gone on with this there for 10 years. Once again, it was not a part of his list, okay? Or was a part of his list, no actress, right? So he counseled with thine own self. He was true. He consulted with God. And then also, you want to have some really good friends, some really good people that love you, that are the same, godly vibrational frequency, universal frequency, if you go to seek advice. We talked about that the other day. And so, a good friend of him said he shared in confidence with this friend, how he was feeling, what he was contemplating. And his friend said, hey, look, and his friend's not spiritual. Well, let's just say he's not religious, okay? Because a lot of people misinterpret people just because they don't believe in their religious beliefs or doctrines and dogmas and things of that nature, that they're not, spiritual. Now, it's two different things, to be spiritual and to be religious. So let's break that down a little bit, because I think this is very, very, very important. To be religious is to have a belief about a specific dogma, doctrine, and philosophy. But to be spiritual is about self-mastery. It doesn't matter what religious belief that you believe in, but you understand that at the very core essence of you, that you are a God, goddess, and that your spiritual essence is truly divinely connected with the high vibration frequency of the universe. So anyway, this spiritual brother friend, counseled with him and basically told him in a nutshell, hey man, you really could be missing your blessing. Just because it is not a part of your list, how do you not know that it's a part of God's list? It's a part of what God wants for you. And remember, God is only going to bring to you what you need. Because like I said, our plan is no better and no greater than God's plan. You know, watch what you wish for. You just might receive it. And luckily, he, listened to his friend. And also, more importantly, he listened to his spirit. Because as he went on the second date and the first date, the chemistry was air. A lot of all the other qualities that were on the list was going on. She was stepping into the divine essence of herself, and she was looking for her own soulmate too. And lo and behold, they connected. They touched and held hands, and it's like, did you feel that? And she's like, did you feel that? And they made that divine connection. Because they listened to God's voice. They listened because God had told Megan long before they were together that that's your soulmate. God didn't connect with divine. Like I said, men tend to be a little bit caught up into their ego more than women. That's a good point that the universe just gave me. Thank you, universe. That men tend to be more involved with their egos. So we women have to be more compassionate and considerate because they get the memo late. They definitely get the memo late. So we got to sometimes be compassionate and understanding and wait patiently for them to get it. Okay, not wrapped too tight. But anyway, get back on the subject at hand. Only kidding. All right. So in a nutshell, Cancer universe, for my brothers out there. But in a nutshell, men tend to get a little bit late, but the key is better late than never, as they say. But he got it, and he got it just in time. And that's why they're in a beautiful, awesome, loving relationship. Now, let's talk about on the flip side. Now, on my list, it was that he, had to be a vegan. I mean, that was just so important for me because it's very, very difficult, going through life. I dated guys who were vegan and who were non-vegan and things of that nature, and it was just so much more enjoyable dating someone who was a vegan because, I didn't have to worry about, I don't want to kiss anybody with meat breath or meat oil on their tongue, stuff like that. I mean, cray, right? But anyway, that's what was going on in my mind. And then we didn't have to worry about, where we was going to choose to go out and eat, and I was always going to have to go places that at least had salads, and at least I was always very accommodating and very considerate of that. So it just made it so much more easier and enjoyable. And also, it spoke about, it speaks about that a lot of vegans are compassionate and considerate and loving, and they care about the environment, care about something more and greater than them. Like I said, some people do that, okay? Anyway, that was important for me. So, especially meeting an African American, there's another label and title. I wanted to meet an African American male that was a vegan, which is like a needle in a haystack. Because my brothers out there love their steak and they love their chicken and they love their beef and their pork and all that other kind of wonderful stuff. Ribs, barbecues. So anyway, I found someone that was on that list, and that was a very bad decision to make. Okay, because that marriage ended up in divorce, and that so-called soulmate wasn't really genuine. Like I said, he was trying to accommodate my list. And later, even finding out, even after we did get married, he was sneaking out eating salmon, fish, because he thought I was going to judge him in regards to what he was eating, because I had chosen him based on these characteristics instead of choosing him. And this is what's so important. Choosing him because God had chosen him for me. Oh, can you get that? I mean, I really want you guys to feel that. Once again, I had manipulated and I controlled the situation because it was a part of my list, and I thought for sure this was on my list that he was the one, etc. And I got in the way of God's calling for me, okay? And that's why it was not successful, and that is why it had failed. So, the moral of this story, and I hope you're really peeking this. I showed you an example of it not being on someone's list and it being on someone's list, and because that person, one person listened to God first, and that's why they're in a happy, successful relationship, and I am starting all over again. So they always say the best mistakes to learn from are what? Other people's mistakes, because they save you time, money, energy, stress, and heartbreak. And it's true because, that was 10 long years, you know, and like I said, as you're focusing on a relationship that's not for you, guess what? That you've closed that door, and guess what? Your soulmate passed you by. But guess what? I'm excited because you learned a blessing and a lesson, and now you know, and you get excited because now you got the 7 secrets, and you know when that soulmate starts up again, soulmate opportunity starts up again, that you're ready and you're prepared, etc. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, while you're patiently waiting, you're still enjoying life, you're still living life, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow on the last day, but the great day, because as one thing ends, a new beginning begins. So that's going to be exciting, because we're going to talk about on the 7th day, the last one. We are going to really break down all the things that we discussed, and I'm going to show you how I manifested my soulmate, and also how I basically has some false starts. So you can give you some tips and tricks, and get excited about that, because once you have the formula, you know, you're able to get through the false starts real quick, and you won't have any heartache, or because you'll be able to recognize them right away, and it'll prep and prepare yourself for the divine mate when it comes. So get excited about that. So that's what you want to do. You really want to not get caught up into all these societal, labels as far as what is a man, what is a woman. You want to stick to the basics. And remember the basics that we're still kind of really learning or relearning, because we've been taught about what a good man is based upon, his status in life, is based upon how much money he has in his pocket, is based upon him being a fame or fortune, or is based upon, his skin color. People choose to base his body weight, how much of a six-pack he has, and people make decisions upon that, okay? Or if the sex is great, which we know that is an elixir, that is, aphrodisiac, that can ruin a relationship, so we don't want to get caught up into all of those other outside, exterior things, once again, because the ego, that ego thing is easing God out of him. Or I look good on his arm because he's Kobe Bryant, or he is Shaq, or he is, Denzel Washington, or he is Bill Cosby. I mean, think about that, So you want to be very, very conscious about, don't get caught up in anybody's status in life. Don't get caught up in how much they weigh, or what race or creed or color or sex and all those things are. Even though it's okay, fine to have that type of thing, but letting it not be the be all and end all. That's the most important thing. You want to check in with God through your prayers and through your meditations and think, is he the one for me? And trust me, God will let you know. If God is a part of your success as far as owning that business, I'm very clear that God helped me become a millionaire from being homelessness. So if God can do that for me and the like, then he definitely can be in control and really present you with the man of your dreams, and it'll be just right for you. So don't second guess God's choice for you, and I promise you, you will know, because that's how it works. Okay? All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, easing God out. Ego. Don't let your ego get the best of you. And last but not least, I gotta say this. If you notice that person is very egotistical, well, you automatically know he ain't got a connection with God. Because he thinks it's all about him, and he is in control of destiny, and we know he done stumbled and he's going to fall on his face, and you don't want to be part of it. Don't get caught up in the drama, divas and divine gentlemen. Please don't do that to yourself. So with that said, hope you'd enjoy today secret on how to find your soulmate in 2019. All right, have a great day, everybody. Peace. Namaste. Hetapu. Bye-bye for now.